Howdy, 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 and welcome to another episode of the DirtInfo podcast. If you could please so kindly just hit the like or subscribe or both down there, it definitely help us out. I know we ask a lot, but we can tell the difference when it happens, and we're doing our best to grow and get to more people. We've set a goal of 100 subscribers this year. It's a huge stretch for us, but we're trying our best. So if you could please do that, be greatly appreciated. But anyway, with that, we'll jump into our first segment, and it's
called Stylin and Profile.
Thanks, Rick. Carter, I think I think I'll go first, and then we'll
Okay.
have you go second. So I'm rocking. This is a new edition. I just got this a couple weeks ago at Granite City for Mod Wars, but I'm rocking this year's Shane Sabraski shirt, and I dig this one a lot. It's obviously bright blue. I'm always the guy in color. You're usually the guy in black. It's bright. It's got pink, obviously. I like that. That's in our logo and stuff. So it's just bright. It's got that 80s, 90s vibe, kind of like the shirt I designed myself. So like obviously it's after my own heart. But anyway, this one rocks.
What
So
what cars does he have? All the cars on it? All three? Just
you
one?
know, you're putting me in a tough spot. But if memory serves, it's just the two. It's just the modified and the late model. I'm pretty sure it's just the two. Um, so I've been saving it. I bought it like 2 weeks ago, and I've been saving it. So like I'm not as you know what I mean. Like
You don't remember it
I'm
as
not,
much.
I don't remember quite as much because I've been saving it to debut on the show. I didn't want to. I'm good at wrecking stuff. I'm hard on equipment, man. So, but anyway, I figured it was safe if I just didn't wear it. But anyway, I'll have you go now.
I don't know. Did you see? I posted the shirt I got on Monday on Twitter. Did you see the post?
I
Or will
don't
this be
get on
new to you?
Twitter much.
Okay, I
All
got
right,
this
this is gonna
shirt.
be new to me too. Ooh,
There's the front.
I like that.
Yeah, it was the first merch trailer I walked past, and I wasn't like really gonna get a shirt, and then I saw that shirt, and I was like, all right, I guess I'm getting a shirt today. Um, Yeah, I didn't even realize they had this shirt. I was like, oh, that's a sweet design. I was like, I'm getting
Yeah,
that. That was my first Tim McCready shirt I ever got. So unfortunately, they didn't have my
nice.
size, so I went one lower and it fit fine. So it worked out.
Yeah, see, but you've been slimming down,
Yeah,
so like it makes sense. You like I probably honestly could have gone one lower, but I'm still just like, nah, I'm the bigger size. I hear you, buddy, man. Like, but that's kind of cool. Now, I don't mean to call you out, but the lighting was a little bit different. Is that
it's not
like a
white.
light gray? That's
Yeah,
not
it's like
sand, right?
it's
It's
kind of
like a
hard
light
to.
gray.
The light hits it too much, but it's not. It's like a gray, like a light gray. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd say that's what it is.
All right. Branching out even a little bit more.
I will say it did look like it was like sand colored inside the trailer, the way the
Okay.
light hit it in there. But I'm fine with like a grayish.
Oh.
I don't really, yeah, I got gray shirts and stuff, so I don't mind that.
Alright. All
At least
right.
it wasn't white. That would have sucked.
Although I have a white Jeremy Nelson shirt. I'll probably wear it eventually here. But like Sherry, I get so many compliments from Sherry in that one. So, anyway, but I was able to fact check myself, and it is just the modified and the late model on the back. So you'd think I'd remember. I saw it like a bajillion times on Saturday. But anyway, I'll talk about that in a minute. We'll have you fire off. So you you skipped out for an entire week. You just was like, nah, I'm not gonna be here. So I scrambled and got Sherry to cover. But now we've got all this time to pick up from. But anyway, so tell us what you did, where you went, the highlights of all of it. Let us know, bud.
Uh, well, I guess what 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember I was 2 weeks ago, so I can't recap
Yeah.
that.
No.
I have no idea. Probably Luxembourg and Plymouth is where I was, but this past week, I say I was on vacation Monday night through we came back Friday morning. And then got back and went to Luxembourg that night. Normal night at Luxembourg. Then I went to Plymouth, and I one thing I do remember at Plymouth from 2 weeks ago, I talked to Barrett Hummelmeyer. who is a loyal supporter of ours, and I got him some
Oh
stickers.
yeah.
And then we don't count that. Oh yeah, that's right. So 2 weeks ago they got rained out before the feature, so we uh we don't know if we were going to be good luck or not. So we weren't bad luck
Well,
though. So the
I
feature
I
never
did see
happened.
we got
But then
I did
the next
see
week he won a heat race. So
there we go.
we don't count the first night because I don't think the
Yep.
first night he won his heat with the stickers on. But
Yeah.
since it got rained out, we don't count it. It's
Yeah,
voided.
right. It's
Um,
voided.
but yeah,
I'm fair with that. Yeah.
then he won a heat race with them and with them on in his first official night, we'll call it. Um,
Right
and
on.
then I don't remember what he did in the feature though. He didn't win
That's
unfortunately,
all right.
but
All right.
who needs a feature win when you can get heat wins?
Yeah. He wins the start, man, right? You gotta win. If you win a heat, you got a probably better shot of winning the feature. So
But yeah, so I talked to him. It was only a short period when I talked to him 2 weeks ago because he was unloading and they were pretty close to. Well, I had to get up for qualifying and he probably had to get ready too. Um,
yeah.
but then, anyways, back to this week. Saturday at Plymouth, I showed you it, but there was one crazy crash in the Grand Nationals where like
Oh yeah.
I don't really know what happened. He just kind of started like the back end got up in the air and then the front end got up in the air and then he was sideways
Yeah.
and then he was rolling.
Well, yeah. Well, they were like three wide, and then he just kind of like
Like
I think he
jumped.
kind of got a little bit sideways or a little too close, and the back end somehow ended up on the middle guy's hood, and then we were just in trouble
Yeah, just
city from
rolling.
there. Yeah.
He was okay, by the way, but yeah, that was those the Grand Nationals never really flip often. They're not one of those cars that roll a lot, so it was
hmm
strange to see one roll. Then Sunday was at Angel Park. IRA feature was good. That's really all I got from there. But then Monday was when it was out of the normal for me. I went down to Wilmot on Monday for the World of Outlaw late model show. First time there. The card count was lower than I was hoping for. I was hoping for a B main, but we had 20 of them.
Yeah.
So that was, I thought maybe some guys from Fairbury were going to come up on the way to Cedar Lake, would have stopped, like non-outlaw guys, but not a single one did. Except for Chubb
No,
Frank. Was Chubb Frank at the PDC? Do you remember?
I honestly don't
Yeah.
recall. I
So
didn't catch
if he
much of it
was
other than
the
the
only
feature.
one that technically went over. But there
Uh-huh.
was four locals. I guess Corey Crapster isn't really a local, but he's from Wisconsin, so we'll count him as one for that
Yeah.
race.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was less cars than I was hoping for, and it took a lot longer. The 46 cars, you said I don't see how they can make a 46 car show take that long, and you saw how it can happen. Start 30
I
minutes late.
apparently was proven wrong.
Um, but the feature was good, so I guess Bobby Pierce
Yeah.
was entertaining. It helped that he didn't draw the pole, because else it might have not been too entertaining. I think he
Yeah.
started third row, I think, maybe fifth or sixth. So that was fun to watch. And then I saw the gorilla from part of Jake Tim's group for the first time. That was pretty
Yeah.
entertaining because he obviously came out during Jake's heat race and was freaking out whenever he'd come by him or whatever. So that was pretty entertaining.
Was he giving signals? Was he also the stick signal guy or the
He was,
the
I don't
signal
know if he was
guy?
giving like signals, but he was signaling something to the driver. It didn't look like it was like the gap or anything, but I think it was more just like a go faster kind of signal. Um, so there's that. And then yeah, Ryan Gustin won that feature, and then I think he started on the pole, and then Pierce kind of was behind. Well, once Pierce got by English, which took a while, they kind of got mad at each other at one point too, because English kind of crowded Pierce into the wall. Then under caution, Pierce rolled up next to him and revved the engine a few times at him. Then once he got by him, I was like, oh, he might like it could be pretty good between him and Gustin, but he could never really challenge Gustin for the lead. It was kind of just he was able to stick with them, but not really challenge him.
Yeah.
Um, and then Tuesday, moving on, was Rice Lake for the Street Stock Little Dream, which has kind of become like an annual race for me because I stream it
Yeah.
every year. And I think they had 47 street stocks, which was the lowest in a while. They usually get like mid 50s. But the crowd, there's still a ton of people there. Enough
Yeah.
people where they donated enough to make it 30,000 and $100. And it starts out, so the Street Stock Little Dream, it starts out at $1,000, and then fans donate throughout the night. They can donate to wherever they want, but usually it goes to the winner. And then I think they stop it right after, or right before, or right after the non-qualifier features when donations stop.
I think it was
And
right after,
then,
yeah.
yeah. And so yeah, they
Yeah.
got up to $30,100. I think last year it was 30,000 exactly.
30,000.
So
Did
they're
you
up.
donate?
I did. I did $30.54.
$30.54. Okay. I did too. I did $50. I thought you had done the 54 again, so I thought maybe
No, I
we
thought
were the
about
whole
it, but
reason they got over, but we were pretty close. Between me, you, and Ryan, we were like almost.
I thought about doing
But I
54, but I
didn't.
was like, I'll just
Yeah.
do 30 this time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
You don't want to go negative on the night. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
working for free that night.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so went down there. I was working the infield camera, which is always fun. 'Cause it's something different. So used to being up in the grandstands videoing. The only downside about the infield camera is you're kind of just hanging out by yourself all night long in the infield, getting ate by ants when I sit down in between or during track prep breaks and stuff. But it's still a cool view that not many people get to experience. So that was pretty fun.
True. And
And
you're on
then
camera a lot.
yeah, I am on camera
A
for
lot,
like
a
half
lot.
a
The
second
one.
when it goes by
Yeah.
each.
Yeah. No. Yeah, truth be told, I pointed it out to Colton one time and he was just like, "Oh, really?" And he started asking questions and he was intrigued. I'll say the kiddo was a little impressed. So, hey, you made one guy one guy was impressed by it. So take it for what it is.
I was concerned too because I got rain Monday night into Tuesday, and I was like, oh, I hope it's not all muddy down there.
Oh,
And thankfully,
no.
there was some soft spot, like there was puddles and stuff, like standing water, but not where I would have been standing. And there was one spot that was a bit like soft, but it wasn't like muddy. Like I could walk through it and not get my shoes covered in mud.
Yeah.
So that was because that would have sucked if it was just all mud down there. You'd have seen the infield camera guy go down on the ground,
He turned to turn and just hit a spot.
just flip backwards.
Yeah, the camera just goes straight to the sky.
Um,
Uh,
I don't even the feature. I don't know when you're down there, it's hard to really tell what's going on in the feature. But I remember Keith Tourville started on the pole, and he led the whole thing.
the whole
But
thing.
Justin Vogel, I do remember early on, he was running the top before like everyone else went up there, and he was flying by guys. And then a caution came out, and everyone kind of realized the top was up there.
Yep.
Um, that's kind of all I remember. I know
Yeah.
Tourville led most of it, and then Hunter Van Gilder got in a caution, went to the tail, and drove all the way up to third.
Back up to third. Yep.
Was there anything
Yeah.
during the race that happened that you remember? Because you watched it.
Yeah, I did watch it. I think like in hindsight, it's interesting that the race was the actual ended up what being the actual race, right? Because we should mention that while
Yeah.
Tourville finished first, he ended up getting DQ'd and Kyle Dykhoff ended up being the winner. But that race for second was actually good
Oh
almost
yeah,
the
between
entire race.
Dykhoff and Rant for most of it, and then I guess
Most of it. And
Van
then
Gilder
like
got by.
Van Gilder was up in there for part of it before the caution and then kind of came back up and came back into it. And then, like you had mentioned, Vogel was there. But no, there was a lot of guys that I think contended for some period of time between six and because it's like from
Yeah,
second to sixth, they were together.
so I was
And so there was a
following.
lot of guys who were jumping in and out of that fray. And so it
I
was
f-
a really good race.
it felt like I was following like a four-car battle, like within like the top like six the whole race. There was guys. I know Kyle Jeanette was up there. I
For
don't
a
know where he ended
while,
up,
yeah,
but he was in
for a
that group.
long
Yeah,
while. He
Parker
faded
Anderson was in
late.
there. Yeah,
Parker
there was a
Anderson
bunch of guys that I
came
just
and
felt
went.
like were kind of they're in a group like the whole time. So if you
Yeah,
remove Tourville, it was an unbelievable race kind of situation where just the
it
leader kind of ruined
was.
it.
It
Um,
was, and like in retrospect, you realize that was the race
that
for the
was the
lead.
race.
That was the
Yeah,
race for the win, and so it kind of neat that we got to see most of it, but also a bummer that the guy who did win didn't win.
got D. Yeah,
Yeah,
I found out at like 3 a.m. on the way home that he was DQ'd. I was
yeah,
like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, and ruins all the victory lane photos. All the camera guys are gone at that point. So
yeah.
then
You
you just
can't
get
like
cell
roll
phone
back.
pictures for your victory lane.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it'll
yeah.
happen.
You texted me and I didn't even see it. I missed it. And then saw it and posted in the Discord like I was breaking news, and you already knew. So, but yeah, um, so that's the second year in a row that's happened.
Yep, last year it was Nick Trainer that got DQ'd, and
Trainer,
Cody Coomer, I think is how it's pronounced,
Coomer, yeah.
ended up winning it. So
This year it was Tourville one and DQ and Dyke got for one. So,
Oh, I do want to mention that the non-qualifier, the guy that won, did you see the interview after he won? When he won the non-qualifier race? Because the non-qualifier can pick to either take $500 or start at the tail. And they interviewed him and he was like, I think I'm just gonna take the $500, and everyone started booing. And then he was like, whatever, I guess I'll do it, but I got a lot of work to do, so give me a second here.
I didn't. I guess I didn't catch that. When you said, I'm like, I think I walked away. I think I walked
Yeah, they
away with
interviewed him. They
it.
interviewed him after because he
Yeah,
can pick to either start at the back or take 500
yeah.
bucks. So, but yeah, he probably should have took the 500 bucks because I believe he pulled off
Pulled off on the
fairly early.
fairway.
Although the way
Yep.
the donations work, technically you could have gotten a lot of money for like
Yeah.
because
Last place
yeah,
or
because technically like 24th could pay better, or 25th, I guess it would have been, could pay better than like 17th or something. One of these years,
yep.
everyone should just donate to last place. The winner gets like $1,000 and last place gets 30 grand.
Oh, how do you?
You just have
Oh
on the start of
man.
the race, you'd have 25 cars flying into the infield. I was down here first.
Be a demo derby. Just turn it into $30,000 demo derby. I like your idea, but it needs some work. We got to figure out how to make
Don't
it
don't announce
and
don't
not
announce that
bad.
it happened. So then
Right.
or just do
Just
like
a
14th place, a random spot in the middle of the pack.
yeah, a winner will be leaving with.
Somebody
Yeah.
Someone will be leaving with it. I don't even need to get tacked either. You could cheat that thing up for 14th place.
Cheer up for 14th place. Oh gosh. We should encourage that kind of thing. But anyway. But yeah. Uh no, it was a cool race. It was definitely I'd be lying if I didn't nerd out and tell everyone in my house at least once when your camera came on or when you were on camera. So I know it's old hat to you, but I still think it's cool. So
Unfortunately, the
uh
first year I did it, I got to stand in the middle of the four wide with the camera, but now the drone took my job there. So
yeah. Well,
technology, that's okay.
ain't always better. Ain't
No,
always better. I'll just we'll leave it at that. But anyway, so I went racing this past weekend. I went racing 2 weekends ago. I had to talk to Sherry about it and she was there. So but anyway, I went to the big deal this weekend, this past weekend, and that was I'll admit it was a good show. It was a good show. It was a bummer. I'll just from the top, it was kind of a bummer that 100 mods didn't show up. I don't That's a trend I'm noticing a little bit just with all of these bigger
yeah,
shows
all of
that
them.
yeah. So I don't know. I would I love them. I think they're awesome, and it's cool to see like my favorite class get those big shows. But I don't know how many more we're gonna see out of this. So uh, that's one thing that I just off the top kind of it's a trend we're all noticing, and so unfortunately it was. But you know what? The 56 or so that showed up put on quite the show. I'll say that, and the feature was an absolute banger. The feature was a banger. Our thumbnail's an absolute banger, thanks to Tim Hunt over at Highside Race Shots too.
Yeah, Tim helped us out with our total domination episode we did a few months ago, and now he's helping us out again. So we do appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. It is absolutely appreciated, and you should go check out his work. He does phenomenal work. He's Highside Race Shots on Facebook, and then highsideraceshots.com as well. And I mean, his work's awesome, and he's just an awesome dude. So y'all go check him out and support him the best you can. So we really appreciate all the help. Thank you. Kyle Strickler led most of it, but Joseph Thomas gave him hell also for most of it. Alex Williamson, I think, started like 14th or something and drove all the way up to third after a long battle with Jody Belfi for the third spot. So like just kind of put on a show. At one point, Thomas passed Strickler, and I went nuts. Like I was like, let's go. Um, and so, but unfortunately, Strickler passed him right back. But it was interesting. There was only like 3 UMP cars there, or in the feature, I think. Maybe on site, maybe a couple more on site, but there was not many. And Strickler was one of them, and he dominated. But the other two didn't like. they didn't fare quite as well. And as a surprise, Brady Gerdes was one of the UMP cars.
You must have UMP
So,
stuff then, or see in someone else's
uh,
car.
yeah, well, I guess I'd found out that, or had heard, I shouldn't say found out, heard that he has an elite, so maybe the conversion wasn't that hard.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, so he ran as a UMP and made the field, and then Kurt Spaulding was the other one that I remember. But
Cole,
the WISSOTA
Cole,
guys,
Cole had a
oh, and
UMP
Cole,
car.
yeah, that's right. I had him written down. I'm sorry, you are right. I actually talked to him in the pits. So, but the racing was awesome. I will say that. Although, anyway, I'll try not to. I'll leave that out. We maybe could have got even better. In my personal opinion, we maybe overworked the track, but I'm not here to disagree. Like Ogilvie knows what they're doing, but by the end of it, I looked out and I was like, I've seen it a lot slicker. So, um, but hey, can't complain. And then the the B mods, it's tough to call it that. I didn't know I was going to an IMCA modified banger. I really didn't. You know, like I knew they were supposed to be running with them. I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. I'd done like a stats post before I went, and they had the most guys locked in, but I think it was only like half of the 14 or maybe a little over half of the 14. But it was Aaron Johnson, Ethan Broxma, and then eventually Cody Thompson was up there running with him too. Rodney Sanders came from a B main to be somewhere in the top 5. Gabe Hodges was driving an IMCA car. He was up front. It was just an IMCA feature, and it was a good one. It was a dang good one.
Yeah, I
So,
remember looking at the results after, and I was like, oh, it's just IMCA, and like pretty much almost all of the top 10 was just IMCA cars. I thought
yeah,
that was quite funny. I guess they'll might have to adjust the rules for that next year because it seems like
yeah.
they had a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, well, I guess I had seen somewhere that like they were supposed to run without a spoiler, and then after practice they ended up getting a spoiler back. I take that as a rumor. I don't know for sure one way or the other. That's just what I saw. But if that's the case, it looks like maybe take the spoiler off as a start. Or I kind of thought, if you're gonna run it back, same everything, same facility, maybe adjust the purse or something to reflect the fact that 56 showed up last time. But if you're gonna do something similar, just have it be an IMCA show.
Yeah,
Well, 25 grand is a banger IMCA show. And like I saw people going like have them run with the A mods. There's no
no, they're
no.
they're faster than the B mods, but slower than the USRA and WISSOTA ones and stuff. So they're
Yeah,
in
there's just
between. You have to add a third
yeah,
class. You have the A mods, the IMCA mods, and then the B mods.
yeah. Or just do like IMCA mods and let the B mods run with them and then have like contingencies for the high like uh Jake Smith was the highest finishing B mod. I think he finished 6th. I think after Hodges ended up, someone got DQ'd,
Yeah,
so
Hodges got
everyone moved up.
DQ'd.
But yeah, so I think he ended up finishing 6th. But like, he did beat some IMCA
Yeah,
cars. Like he did good. So I don't know. I don't know how you fix it. I do want to just real quick. Aaron Johnson drove a hell of a race. That was also a very good feature. It was a very good feature. So IMCA mods on my home track go well together. Johnson had the lead, took the lead early. Broxma got around him on like a mid race restart, and Johnson tracked him down. I missed the pass because I was watching other cool racing that was going down. All of a sudden, I looked up and I was like, "Oh, I didn't
oh,
realize he got that close and around him." So,
oh,
yes.
you were cutting out a bit.
Oh, anyway, where did you lose me?
I didn't lose you, just kind of did Discord
Okay.
things where it
All right.
made your word longer than it needed to be. But we're
Oh,
we're
fun,
back
fun.
now.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, and then Johnson got back around him. And then Cody Thompson, I don't remember where he started. I don't know how far back it was, but by the end of the race, he was probably the fastest guy on the track by quite a bit. But it took him a minute to work around Broxma, and then he didn't have quite enough time to get all the way to Johnson the way he would probably like. But he made it interesting. And so it was a good freaking race. So
I saw
um
Cody Schrader, who races locally by me, he took 6th or 7th in that, so I thought that was kind of cool too.
Okay.
So shout
Yeah,
out
I
to
did
him.
notice he locked in. I think I noticed
Yep.
he. I don't. Yeah, I noticed he locked in, and because I looked him up because I was when I was trying to figure out who ran what, and I was like, "Dang, that guy's out by Carter."
Yeah, he runs like
So,
Luxembourg and 141 and stuff. So
yep, yep. So, no, the racing was good. I will say. So I walked the pits. I went and talked to Cole. He was the first one I went and found because I saw him driving in. I saw where he was parked,
oh
so I
yeah.
was like, I know where he is. So I went back there and I wanted to I was like, I should re up on stickers. So I gave him a couple more to so he could have them on all of them. And so chatted with him for a minute. Um, he had mentioned that there was a chance he was going to be at the Bang Bang 50 driving a sport compact. So obviously he ended up at the big deal, but somewhere along the line, conversations were had about that maybe happening. Uh, so that would have been cool. I had mentioned to him that we would, we'd pitched in for that, and we were doing our best to kind of raise awareness of it. So, did you see who won?
I
This was
did.
just this past weekend.
I wasn't there, but I did see who won. Brian Watska Jr. ended up winning that, and he's a guy. He wins a lot in our area, so it was not a
Okay.
shocker to see him win.
Right on, right on. Took home a cool $1,000. So
And that's probably the highest paying four-cylinder show in our area that I know of, at least, or in my area, I guess.
right on, right on. Well, hopefully, all this talking about we're doing it next year when we start talking about it again, maybe we can get it even higher. But that was
Or get it to Rice
uh,
Lake levels, Little Dream
whoa,
levels.
whoa, whoa! I don't know what that word.
Well,
I mean, we have goals of 100 subscribers
you
on
heard it here first.
YouTube.
Josh will be pitching in 30 grand for the winner next year. I'll do 25 for second. 25 bucks.
25 bucks. Yeah, you better clarify that. You'll be on the hook for a lot too. Uh, but anyway, so it was cool to catch up with Cole. I caught up with Ashley, chatted with her a bit. She's pretty awesome. It was awesome to get her kind of her views on the event and kind of how things had played out and stuff. So she was there to have a good time. She had a good time. She raced hard. I'll say that she may or may not have been involved in an incident or two in the C main, unfortunately. But she raced hard, and I don't know. I'm proud of her. I guess I was trying to just find to say a way of like I don't care. Like I'm still super happy to be on that car. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know why I felt the need to say it, but I did anyway. um, so yeah, I got a chance to chat with her, and then I did hand out some stickers to some new people. And so you had mentioned before if they're good luck or bad luck. This is going to be a really true test of are these good luck, not good luck. So I handed off two more sets of stickers. One was to Aaron Johnson, so I'd made a special
Is
pit
that
stop because
after the race?
B4,
Oh,
B4. This was during my pit walk, and I also handed off a set of stickers to Ryan Gerke, who started on the pole and ended on a pole. For the
ended on a
lack of
oh,
on a
like on
pole.
the tow truck or I
No,
land.
on a pole in the infield.
How did that happen? I did not
I
see
think
this.
something broke and he like tried to get off and like spun and ended up hitting the one of the infield. I'm
Oh,
not like the actual pole. They have safety stuff
yeah.
around it. I don't want to be, but yeah, I ended up hitting a tractor tire in there near the lights.
So he
So
wasn't 50 feet in the air on top of the light pole.
no, 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 no,
That
no,
would
no,
have been the
no, no.
craziest
I
wreck
was
of
just
all
trying to
time if
make,
that
yeah, no, no, no. I was just trying to make a joke. It was not a bad wreck at all. Although I think the car's hurt. He's okay. I think the car's hurt, but no, yeah, he ended up in the infield busted, unfortunately. So I don't know, man. I'll say this: I didn't see the stickers on either one, so we don't. but as far as like the power of receiving them goes, mixed reviews from the
Maybe they
big
just have
deal.
to touch the stickers for them to get the luck. It doesn't have to be on the car. Maybe that's what it is.
Okay. Well, I handed them both directly to him.
So
So I don't know. Jury's out on this one. I mean, overall, the body of evidence is pretty good. It's pretty good,
did you give the
but
stickers to Ryan? Oh no, you weren't there on Friday, so I was gonna say we could have
no,
said the good luck got used to get him on the pole, but that
no,
was not the case.
that was not the case. That's the one shining example of thing where things didn't work out very good. Uh, but no, I think that was a bummer. Obviously, I've worn the hat. I'm a fan of Gurkey. I've worn the shirt. Like I was rooting for him hard. So that was definitely a bummer. Um, but Joseph Thomas was another storyline worth cheering on, and that was pretty cool too. So I do also want to quickly mention. So Ogilvie is awesome, and they added another new thing, and they've added wontons, but it's not just like normal wontons. They're like stuffed with different things. And so we tried the Minnesota sushi ones, which was pickle, ham, and cream cheese in a wonton,
Hmm.
and then in ranch.
So I don't like wontons, but so
Oh,
okay.
all right. I was trying to
I
judge
like
your
that I
reaction.
like that it's a food option. I wouldn't get it, but I like the
Okay.
unique food option. So
I was in for reaction. Very good. My review was very good. I was definitely pleasantly surprised. And then they also have like dessert style ones, and we got like a strawberry shortcake or
I
something
might like that. That I
with a
might like.
chocolate dipping sauce. That was really good. So, I thought that was cool. But that track's always adding stuff. They had like a brat and hot dog stand that felt somewhat new there too this weekend. So they're always adding stuff. I don't know. I dig that track. Obviously, it's my home track. I'm super biased, but they're always doing cool stuff. I think I mentioned one of the past episodes. If I didn't, they've had multiple different like fan contests in addition to the hot dog wars and stuff.
Dog
They've had
Wars.
like dog wars. Yeah, they've had like trackside competitions, and they always have like a best car costume for the topless nats and stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
um,
Can
yeah,
I add,
they're always doing
speaking
cool stuff.
of tracks adding stuff, I should have mentioned this. Rice Lake, they added a ton of, because they got new owners last year, I think. They've done a ton of stuff since I remember at least. They had
Okay.
you've never been there, but the entrance used to just be like you pay at a window or whatever, and then you go in like most places. But there you go
Mhm.
inside of like a new building they have. I don't know if it's new, but the inside I've never been in there, so the inside's at least new. And then there's like a left and a right, and you can pay at either one. And I think there's AC and stuff in there. The food stand is like it's like a whole big area now with like tables in there and stuff. Before it was just walk up to a window. Now it's a building you go in, and there's a bunch of
Okay.
stuff added there. I don't know if the wall's new or just repainted, but it looked new. So, and
Okay.
then the bleachers, they redid all the wood on them, so it's you're not like they're not sketchy
Not
like
getting
they were when I
splinters.
first went there. Yeah. So yeah,
Right on.
they did a ton of stuff there too. So there is some of the old bleachers off in turn one. Those are like still the ones from when I was there the first time. Those ones might still be a bit sketchy, but most people sit on like the front stretch part anyways. So
Yeah. I will say that's a pretty common theme I've noticed of tracks up here is like I just to be fair, I won't say all of them, but a lot of them take a lot of pride in their stuff, and it seems weird because it's under snow for like half the
half the
year.
year.
But, but I think it's just that northern mentality of like you only get to use it so much, so you want to take really good care of it and make sure it's the best it can be while you can use it. So I don't know. I just noticed there's a lot of tracks up here lately that have just been constantly kind of add new stuff and do cool stuff. It's cool for us as race fans, right? I dig that. I like going to a place and having good food options and a comfortable place to sit and all that. So heck yeah. But anyway, so that was uh that was pretty much my big deal. So leaving there though, so as I was there, I met a guy there and he's kind of updating me that Fairbury was not racing, but still trying to race. And I was kind of like, well, dang, we're here a little late. So maybe they'll race at the same time. No, I drove the whole way home listening to the Outlaw race and still watched 20 laps when I got home.
Yeah, there was a lot of cautions in that race.
There
I
was.
probably would have seen. I
There was.
wouldn't have fallen asleep if they only had a few cautions, but there was. I did not make it through. I made it through like 50 or 60 laps, and then I fell asleep. And
Yeah.
then I woke up and found out Brian Shirley won, so that was cool at least.
That was cool. That absolutely was cool. Um, and it was to show how there was one thing I said to show like just how absolutely muddy and messy the thing was. He gets out of the car, cheers, goes to land, and just whoop slips right in the
Oh,
mud
really? I
and
didn't see that.
yeah, yeah,
It
just
was
lands on
definitely
his
a
butt.
mess in the infield though, because when guys would go
Yeah.
to the infield, like to whatever, pull off or just to go get like a tire change, they'd go sliding in there. I think it's Spatola. Somebody like went in there and they spun and hit like a little dirt pile. It just bent the quarter panel, but they spun into that, and I was like,
Was
oh
that
geez.
possibly RTJ?
No,
The
he
same.
spun too, but there was someone else. I think it was Spatola that did it. This would have been as you were listening, so I guess you wouldn't have seen it. But
Yeah, I didn't see a ton. Sherry was giving me updates here and there, um, but yeah, it was. I don't know. There was English went into the pits like a bajillion times.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many left rears he changed, but I guess apparently they ended up putting one of the so like the front
Yeah,
right or something on the.
okay.
They put like a tire that not the left rear on the left rear because they ran out of left rears. That's what I heard. So
Hmm.
he went down there a ton because I think the sheet metal kept rubbing against it. I would have just. I mean, I guess he's racing for points, but if you're not, like, you're going. You're just all your money that you're
Yeah.
gonna win is gonna go straight to your tires after
At
that.
some point, there's only 13 guys on the track, and they're probably all going to finish. You know, like 14's fine at this point. Let us race. Uh, but, but yeah. So it was, it was interesting. It was cool to, like you said, it was cool to see Brian Shirley won. So with lap money, he ended up taking down 88,500
Oh,
total.
yeah. It wasn't a
Yeah.
scenario. Was it last year when Hoffman won more than Pierce? I think was it last year?
Uh,
'Cause didn't Pierce get the
oh,
last
could have
lead the
been.
last lap, and because Hoffman
Yeah.
got second place money and he led like 99 laps
Almost
or
all of
something like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, in this one, Shirley led, I think, like 70 some
yeah.
odd
He
laps.
led a good
Yep.
amount of it.
Yep. Yep. The mods got screwed. They didn't
Not for
even
me
get to
though.
race.
Think it's screwed for me because I'll be at the race where it got postponed to. So I get a
Yeah.
free 5,000 win mod feature.
Yeah. On top of two you were already getting. So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
hopefully most of them come back. I assume they because it's 10,000 to win that day originally for the mod. So I'm assuming they'll all be there anyways. But yeah, when I saw that I was like, oh sweet. I thought I missed it when I fell asleep. Turns out I'm going to see it live. This is great
It's even better. Um, yeah, did they lock the whole field, right? Like the entire field is locked
for
in.
the yeah like every
Yep.
the only like only, holy stutter only thing they have to do is run the feature for it. All the cars are locked in. They
Okay.
did the B mains because I think it
Yeah.
started raining right like as the late model feature was getting ready to come on track.
Okay. After it rained, I think previously in the day too, right?
Oh yeah, it might have rained earlier
Yeah,
in the day.
yeah, I think it rained a bunch. But anyway, okay. So then they postponed it for everything, and then they got that in, and they were like, "We're
Yeah,
exhausted."
it's 3 a.m. We're not running, and I think they usually run the mod feature first because they do the whole bank thing. So they would have had to
Yep.
like either all the camera people would have been gone for the mod feature, or they would have had to do the bank thing, get everybody back there, and then run the mod feature.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah,
That's not gonna happen. So that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Just get it. Got to wrap up tonight at some point. So right on.
I was
Well,
getting worried they were gonna postpone the Fairberries feature to Monday and cancel Wilmot on me. That would have sucked because Sunday didn't look very good. I was like, they might just freaking run this thing Monday, and sorry, Wilmot, you guys are screwed.
your date's gone. Yeah, that would have been no good. Would you have driven down to Fairbury?
I don't know. I mean, I've done something like that to Farmer City for like two B mains and two features, but that's just two features. Although this is a 100 lap feature, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Good question, honestly.
probably not,
But I
but
had
there's
the
a
day
chance
off,
that
so
oh
so I could
yeah.
have driven, and I had the next day off, sort of. I mean, I
Mm,
still had to get up to go to Rice Lake, but
yeah. Get a hotel and just drive straight to Rice Lake.
I could do
Probably
that. I
is the plan.
probably would have driven home, honestly,
Yeah, you're
because
crazy like that.
yeah.
But anyway, well, I think that's everything we wanted to recap as far as what we watched. We didn't watch much. We were racing. Um, but anyway, I'm speaking of
Oh,
the Outlaws. Oh
do we
yeah.
want to just mention Pierce won the flow show at Fairbury, right? On
Oh
Wednesday.
yeah.
I didn't
Just
watch it,
so
but I do. remember right, he won
I
that.
think I
So
did. I think I did watch it, and I still forget. There's just a lot of
it was a
racing
long
going
time ago,
on.
but he did win it. We
Yeah,
should mention that it
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
So
Fair enough. Fair enough. So anyway, speaking of Bobby Pierce and World of Outlaws, that's where I'm going. I'm pumped. So I'm USA Nationals. I'll get not bury the headline. I'm going to the USA Nationals at Cedar Lake. I'm actually pumped. There's some early chatter I've seen online of entries, and we were like somewhere close to like 55 plus entries. I think confirmed or rumored to be confirmed.
per
And like,
Ruben, he said 55 at Wilmot, and that
okay,
was on Monday. So probably 55 plus at this point, assuming they all show up.
yeah. So like, not always a huge fan of reading names, but I think this is interesting just how many sort of travelers are coming to this, which we'll speak to in a minute too. But so like we've got both the Gundakers, Billy Moyer, Chris Madden, Kyle Bronson, Jason Fager, Max Blair, Cade Dillard, Dylan Thornton, um, Mike Marler, Chubb Frank is the one that kind of catches me. Boom Briggs and Dylan McCowan, Jake O'Neill, Mike Spatola, Garrett Smith will be there. Might be a good chance to wear my Garrett Smith shirt. And then in addition to that, because we had mentioned it before, like I feel like the Lucas guys travel a little bit better. The Lucas contingent is going
Well,
to be
not
Dan
at
Ebert,
Wilmot.
not at Wilmot. No, no. For this one, they will. So we got Dan Ebert, Garrett Alberson, Davenport, RTJ, Brandon Overton, Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neill, and Dalton Wilson. So like
Pretty
they're
much
all
all
going
the
to be
Lucas
there.
guys for the most part.
Yeah, yeah. They're like everyone's coming. I think Turbo's going to be there too. Um, so I mean, it's just a loaded field, man. And so I'm gonna be at both days. I wasn't sure
Well,
if I
there's
was
3
gonna go to
days.
both. Okay, I'm gonna go to both days of the USA National show. So the first show
The
is
one
just
that plays into the 100K.
the one, yeah, I'll see the entirety of that program. So the plan is, I actually haven't checked the weather, but weather permitting, because this race feels like it always has rain when I
I
go.
think the weather's
Um,
good this week. I think you're okay.
All right.
So
But so the plan is to go Friday with Colton because I've mentioned a few times now, but he's been asking to get to Cedar Lake. It's probably his favorite track. So we're gonna have him come with us on Friday, and then it's technically a weekend where he's supposed to be with Ma. So then he'll go with her on Saturday, and then I'm going with my buddy Joel on Saturday. So it's gonna be awesome. And Friday, the format's a little. I'm gonna be honest. We talked about it before, but the format's a little bit of a bummer for the Friday.
yeah, you get no outlaw feature.
No outlaw
You get the Luke
feature.
or the local late model feature, but yeah, not the outlaws.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's Friday. Friday is qualifying heats, and then I think a couple of dashes, maybe
Yep.
the
The
top six dash
and then the fans fun dash.
and the fans fun dash. And then the Cedar Lake late models, they're there all 3 nights. So we get a full show full. I sounded super Minnesotan. Oh my. Anyways, we get a full show of them plus fireworks. Plus fireworks.
Yeah, I
So
guess you get that.
I'm pretty pumped
That's
about
makes up
that.
for no feature for you.
Yeah. It's as close as they can get to making up for no feature. Um
You
honestly,
might
I feel like
you might
go
not get a
ahead.
4 wide though at night.
I
Unless
won't.
the local late models have to do it.
They might, but that's not the same.
They'll do it in the
Can't
six
ever,
car dash. They'll do a 6 wide.
yeah, 6 wide. Sure, what the hell? Let's do it. No, but I'm like I've said it a bunch, but I'm pumped for this show, and I'm glad because it always pulls decently for itself. But this feels like a really big number. I think overall there's going to be well over 100 late models total in the
Oh, I'm
pits,
sure.
including the Cedar Lake late models. So that's pretty awesome. And then that fan fun is cool. You know about it, but just kind of like a recap, they put together a list of I think 12 drivers, and then they solicit votes from fans, and I believe the votes are tied to starting position in this fan fun dash that we mentioned. And then it's like $5 a vote, and if you donate more than $30, then you get to go to a luncheon with all the guys they invited. So, and then there's I think raffles for merch and door panels and all kinds of cool stuff. So it's all kind of a cool thing, and it helps draw. I mean, 12 drivers basically they're helping cover get to this race. And most of them probably wouldn't have come otherwise. So it's pretty awesome that they're bringing 12 guys that wouldn't be here. So, I don't know. It's one of those cool things that adds an aspect to a race. They're already paying $100,000. Like that's a
Yeah,
huge race in and of itself. But then there's
and
this
they
added
upped the
addition.
payout. It was 50 grand, right? That's what it was last year.
It
I know
was
they
50,
upped it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they upped it to 100. And then they switched back to this more heats features situation because of it. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those neat things that makes an event more than just a race, but like an actual thing. And to be real, the fireworks is one of the coolest parts of this event. So I'm glad that I'm gonna get it's ultimately what I think sold us all to do this plan was it's like, all right, the fireworks are there. And so it's gonna be a good time. And then I love the introductions. They turn down all the lights and
Oh, the
everyone has light up
spotlight.
stuff. Yep, and they have lights, around the track and stuff that they spotlight, and everyone has their light up stuff that they hand out. And it's a cool vibe. It's just a cool event. And the campers, there's so many campers. So if you're like on the back stretch, it's loaded with loaded campers. I mean, it's the best way to put it because I can just walk over to their camper and walk back.
That's how Fairbury is too. On the
Yep.
backstretch, there's well, I guess front stretch too, but backstretch, all campers. People, it'll be like empty during like hot laps. All of a sudden, just people will come rolling in because they're just, and if they need a drink, oh, I just got a short walk to my camper here. Let me.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just a whole vibe. So it's definitely one of my favorite events. I mean, and I say that about a lot of them, but I think there's a lot of events around here that just have some nice tradition, and I'm a sucker for all that. I think we've established that this many episodes in. So right on. I'm digging. I'm really looking forward to it. But anyway, what are you doing?
Um, for me, it's a normal weekend. On the weekend, it's just Luxembourg, Plymouth. It is $5 to get in at Luxembourg this week, so
Ooh.
there's that. It doesn't matter for me, but other people, I guess. Um, and then I guess it's kind of next week, but it's in a weird spot when we record. But I'm going to the Harris Clash this upcoming Tuesday. I had no plans of going to that until like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, maybe. I don't. I just remember I was talking to Ryan. It was at the King of the Creek. That's where I at. It was at the King of the Creek. I was like, I have off Tuesday of the Harris Clash, but I don't know. That's a long drive by myself. And he's like, oh, I have off that day too. And I was like, oh. And then next thing you know, we're planning to go to the Harris Clash. So, and
I
then
was I'm laughing so hard I have to get it out because of the way you told me. And I remember the message. It's something to the effect, there's been a recent development.
it was recent too. It was that day, I think.
And I don't think I responded very fast. You're like, well, don't you want to know what it
Yeah, I know. I
is?
wanted you to respond. I wanted to make you guess first. But yeah, so we're going there, and they got mods, stock cars, and sport mods. I think it's 5,000 for mods, 4 for stock cars, and 3 for sport
I think
mods,
that's
something like
probably
that.
right.
Yeah, we did a whole
If
thing
memory serves.
on
Yeah,
the
if
Harris
memory
Clash in
serves, that's
June.
what it was. Yeah.
I did learn they have a pre-entry list on their website. I don't know
Okay.
if it's like some of it's from the June date, so like some guys might not be there. I don't really know, but when I last looked, I think they had 56 mods and 54 of the stock cars and sport mods at 54 too.
Yeah. So you're gonna
So
see a lot of cars and some good racing.
yeah, and I think there'll be more than that that show up that just aren't pre-registered because
Yeah.
drivers don't like to save. They like to enter after and not save like the $300 you can save by pre-registering and stuff. Because there's like like people enter now and you can save $300. Now I'm gonna wait till the day of and I'll pay that. I'll pay the extra
Yeah.
300.
I'm just not sure I'm gonna make it. So if I make it, it's worth the 300 extra bucks. I'd be wasting it if I registered and didn't make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've rationalized myself into that decision, a timer 100, so I get it. But anyway. Well, that should be pretty fun. That used to be at Deer Creek.
Yeah. It used
I
to be at a lot
was
of places, but most recent
Yeah,
it was at Deer
most recent.
Creek. It used to
So
be at
that's one of those
Knoxville
events.
too.
Okay. Is this one of those events that's intended to move around like this, or is just trying to figure out
I
where it
don't
wants to be?
know, honestly. I think they kind of just it used to always be at like non-IMCA tracks, like Knoxville. It was at Webster City, Deer Creek, which I kind of liked that aspect of it because it's like a neutral playing field for pretty much everyone. But
Hmm.
now they moved it to Boone, which is kind of just it's kind of like the Eldora for like stuff. It just gets all the big IMCA
All the
stuff,
big
it seems
events.
like.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I like Boone. Boone race is good, and I honestly the reason I want to go is because I haven't been there in a couple of years, and I want to go back. So, but I do kind of wish it was at Deer Creek because it would be about 2 hours closer. So that would have been nice. I probably would have driven back that night if it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it stays at Boone for a while now, but
Okay.
it would be cool if it moved to a different track each year, every couple of years or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. That would be an interesting, it takes a big event, but this seems to be one of them, right? But it
Yeah,
does take a big enough event to pull that off. But that is a cool feature if when things are able to do that kind of, because then it keeps it fresh and all that,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even at Deer Creek, like, I mean, they still had good car counts, but they started going down compared to like the first year they had like 80 something mods and like 60 sport mods. And I think last year they had like 30 or 40 sport mods and mods were maybe 60 mods, but
Okay.
yeah, it just starts going down after a while because guys, I've ran there already. I suck
Yeah, the
there or whatever.
novelty wears
Yeah,
off. Yep. Yep.
exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. Right on. Well, other than other than kind of where we're going, the only other real things I'll be watching, I think, is I'll be keeping a little bit of an eye on USMTS. So they're at Creek County on Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday they're at the Lucas Oil Speedway for the Slick Mist Show Me Shootout. That's a bit of a tongue twister, but um, I do have a bit of like a talker or something I want to throw out there. I'm genuinely curious what Kyle Strickler will do. So he won, he just won $125,000. I don't know that we mentioned that he won or how much he won when we talked about it
We
before.
mentioned
You
we
realize
didn't. I
that?
don't know if we mentioned how much, but we mentioned that he won.
Okay. We did mention that he won.
Yeah, but now
All
we
right.
mentioned again just to be safe.
We just to really want to drive it home. Anyway, um, so, but no, I'd been yapping that he was going to, there's these four guys and they were contending for a title. Well, he has fallen out of contention. He's down to fifth now. Joe Chisholm has passed him, but he also like wrecked one car twice or two cars. And I shouldn't say wrecked, but was in incidents with two of them. So much so that he had to like use Troy Girolamo's car as a backup car to race with a provisional and a feature.
Granite
This,
City, I think that was a solo wreck. The
it
one,
was.
yeah, okay. So that
Yep.
was the one
Yep.
I remember. He smoked the
I
wall, and then
I think
he did.
he's.
Did he hit the wall at Ogilvie too?
I believe he did.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I was able to watch those two. I know it's 2 weeks ago, but
And he
I
was in the Troy Girolamo backup car at Princeton. Yeah. So like that's how terribly that went for him. He just won all this money in a UMP car. Like I don't know. We kind of are aware that he was not fully committed to the USMTS thing and looking for a trying to figure out if a late model thing could come through before he ultimately committed at the beginning of the season. But he was leaving his options open, I guess is the way to say that. This changes something, maybe it doesn't, but I don't know. I'll be curious to see if he's there, and could be yapping, and he may just show up
yeah,
today.
might have it
You
already.
know,
They might have it fixed
yeah,
already for all we know.
yeah, right. Probably no, but like it is one of those things where I'm just curious because I don't think this season's gone the way he had hoped. Obviously, he's falling in the points at mid-season and struggling to finish races, and so I don't know. I'll be curious if he shows up. That's what I'll throw there. What do you think? I know you don't follow this anywhere closely as I do, but I've just sort of laid out the reasons why he won't. He is sitting fifth, and he's been at everything at USMTS. So I'll throw that back out there,
I'll
and they
say
have half a season left.
I'll say he shows up just because there's
Okay.
nothing else really for him to go to race. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he's like, screw it, we're out of the points. There's a big UMP show. Let's go here instead. But I don't know. Might as well just screw it. Let's
Yeah.
fix this thing up and keep trucking.
Keep trucking. You're already committed. Yeah. I mean, I can see it both
And
ways.
is he
But
fourth in points? Do you know?
fifth now. He's fifth
Fifth?
now.
Okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
I guess you'll still get the he's still in, I assume, contention for like points payout. He's not like out of it, like like
Yeah, he's not so
Outlaws do
far
like the
back.
top
He's not gonna
12 or
anything.
whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what fifth pays, but I mean, you're almost done.
Yeah, I
You
don't
got
know.
what, 3 months left, but you got some breaks in there too. So,
Yeah. I would say they're about halfway through their scheduled races, give or take a
oh,
few
okay.
here or there, but halfway through the season. So,
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll be there at least. I don't know if he'll finish the whole season, but I think he'll be there this
yeah.
weekend.
I just feel like this would be this would be a convenient time to go. All right, we won some money.
That is
We're
true, because
making
he's like, we kind of made our season with that win. I guess I could just
yeah,
say screw it, but I don't know.
yeah, and
Maybe
then
he'll be
you're
in someone
starting to
else's
wonder.
car this weekend and wreck
Yeah,
that one too.
although countering my own point, he did randomly show up at Lucas Oil last year about this time and run with this event with USMTS. So that being the case, maybe yeah, I think he likes this track anyway. Lucas Oil he likes, so maybe. But it'll be something to watch afterwards. I don't know. If I just won 125 grand and my other season was going a little rough, I might feel the liberty to take a minute to collect myself. But hey, competitors are built different, and it's easy for me to say here I'm not in the middle of it. But it's just I thought it was interesting. Um, but anyway, and then I'll also mention real quick the Northern Lights are at Cresco and Winneshiek this weekend. So they raced last weekend at Hamilton County and Brennan Davis won. So they're still building up that regional series. This is their first year. They're doing interesting things. I'm a big fan of Winneshiek. That's technically the track that started it all. I've said it a couple of times now, but anyway, so they also run. But that is everything we plan to talk about, Carter, and probably a lot more. But that means it's time for
The one for the road. And mine, so I was gonna do Boone, the Super Nationals, which I guess I'll do it, but mine changed while we were recording. So I'll just mention,
midstream change.
yes, so I'll just mention what I was originally going to have because it's short, but Boone already has 811 cars entered for the Super Nationals, and it doesn't start for another month, so that's pretty
Oh,
crazy. But anyways, so Arlington Raceway, I think it's Raceway in Minnesota, has a big stock car thing going on. And
yep.
what caused me to change it is they were doing the redraw, and I've never seen, like, they do kind of like little games or whatever for redraws at some things. So for
Uh-huh.
their redraw, they had a target on the track, like that you shoot at or whatever, and then they had balloons on it. And then they had a pistol. I don't think it was like real bullets, but whatever, like a
I
pellet gun.
imagine not.
Yeah. But the way they did the redraw is you shot the balloon with the pistol, and I've never seen that was like the most unique redraw thing I've ever saw, and I
Okay.
thought that was neat. And I think the race is called like the something shootout, so it fits the
I
name
was
too.
just trying to look it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I was like, oh, that is very neat. They're starting the features now, but unfortunately, we won't know. It's 5,000 to win for stock cars too, but yeah, we won't know who wins, unfortunately, unless we sit here for an hour
Yeah,
in
we're not gonna
silence.
be here for an hour. Yeah, what are they calling it? The Shelby County Stock Car Shootout. So yeah,
Yeah,
I dig that a lot. I like that is if we haven't said it enough, we're obviously fans of a little bit of personality in all of this. And so that's kind of a cool way to determine it. And so like it's like bullseye on out and you shoot and if you
it's just like a
I assume they
like an archery target, kind of like the big
okay.
square
Yep.
box, but then they have like a row, three balloons, and then another row of three, and then another row of three, and then you
Oh,
just shoot it, and
yeah,
then
it's just
I
probably a
assume
random number
something's
in
in
there.
there that
Yeah.
comes out. Yeah. So, and
Yep.
then I guess I should recap my one from last week that I wasn't here for, but you did it for me. The Salute to Veterans Tour, they kind of got hit with rain the first night at Clay County. And then I didn't mention this, but Friday night they don't race, but like everyone kind of just goes to Marshalltown, and that also got rained
Mhm.
out. But they got Thursday in at Elgona, or whatever you called it last week. Didn't you call it
I'm
something
not saying
weird?
it again. I got criticized. I believe it's pronounced uh Kasuth.
I think
I
that's
said Koseth,
Yeah, I know
but I
it's
think
not
it's
that.
Kasuth.
That's why I call it Algona, because I don't know how it's pronounced either. Um, but I'll just do the mod and stock car winner. Trip Gaylord won the mod feature there, and Kelly Shyrock won the stock car feature. And then at Boone, which they had 238 cars at Boone, by the way, so that was uh that was pretty neat. Dylan Thornton won the mod, and then Kelly Shyrock doubled up and won at Boone too. So he had a
Right on.
good little week. I didn't realize. I thought they had points for that. Apparently they don't, and not that I could find at least. So
Yeah, not that we could find.
if they
Yeah.
did, Kelly Shyrock won the stock car points. I can confirm that.
It would seem fair to say, yeah. I would imagine so. So, um, well, for this week, I wanted to mention something that I intended to mention last week and didn't. But so at Brown County, this past weekend, Brown County Speedway in Aberdeen, South Dakota. They had the Dakota Bank Rumble, and so they had 2,500 to win on Friday and 5,000 to win on Saturday late models. And so Friday, Chad Becker took home the win, and then Saturday, Mike Stearns took home the win. And they were also there with both nights with the Street Stock Tour. So those guys had a pretty wild stretch of days here. So they were at Brown County Friday and saw Jaden Bow. I'm not sure I'm saying that one right. Bogh Bow or
Oh,
both. Um,
Bo, that sounds right.
yeah, yeah. And then on Saturday, Justin Vogel won. And I don't know if you caught it, but I guess he was in a bit of a wreck on Friday and
I did not
had to
catch that.
really wrench it. Okay, so he was. I didn't see the wreck, but I caught wind of it after that. He really needed to wrench on the car so much so that like one of the other competitors like, hey, I got space at my auto shop for you to work on it, and so there's a picture of him like on a lift in the auto shop, like 3 bay auto shop, and he's in the
Oh
middle,
yeah,
and
working
so
on
yep, working on it. So he's wrenching on it all day, and then he went and he won the feature on Saturday. So that was kind of cool.
worked
Um,
out then.
but
It's good auto
yeah,
shop.
and then yeah, it's a good I highly recommend. But and then there's those guys were also supposed to run on Saturday or Sunday at Casino. But did you see what happened at
Oh,
Casino?
the tornado and stuff that went through
The
there.
tornado? Yeah, I don't know that it went through the track, but I saw
No,
about
it
20
missed the
different pictures
track.
of it
Yeah,
in the distance.
yeah. It did
Yeah.
rain a ton at the track too. I saw some
Okay.
videos from like behind the grandstand area, and you couldn't see the ground. You just saw water, so it was like flooded back there pretty much.
Dang. Yeah. But that was kind of crazy. So they had two shows. A lot of those guys ran two shows there, went to Casino, and then ended up at Rice
At
Lake
Rice
on
Lake,
Tuesday.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's a pretty wild stretch of days for those guys. I hope they all went home and took a nap on, on Tuesday night. But and then I should just not necessarily a recap, but a following up on my last week's one for the world. So Coles County has announced a ton of more invites, and so I haven't seen who has and hasn't accepted. I think I've seen a few here and there, but um, assuming some or most of these guys commit, that's a heck of a field
Yeah, if
for
they
both
commit,
the
they
late
got quite the field.
Yeah.
And I wanna mention because I wasn't able to last week, but I don't know if this is what sparked the idea to do this, but last year it was like in late November, Bobby Pierce tested out in Coles County for the dome. Or it might have been in December, like 2 days before. So I don't know if that's for like, oh, this could maybe work because they saw a late model out there. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just thought that was interesting that he tested there a year ago, and now they plan on having a late
Now
model
that
race and a mod race. But
yeah. Well, I don't know. By the time this comes out, it may be out already. But didn't you say they were teasing some
they
additional
they
big
s-
news
they
coming up
said
here
they had
shortly?
some news before the weekend, so
Okay.
I guess that's
So
either as tonight when we're recording or tomorrow.
yeah,
That's
or
their
Friday.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Friday.
Friday is not the weekend till 5 p.m., Carter. Then it's the
That's true.
weekend. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's everything. Even the one for the road now. So if they're still here, Carter, what should they probably do?
Like, follow, subscribe, share. Um,
Um,
what am I missing anything?
Reviews, there's reviews, share, tell your
Reviews.
grandma. Yeah, I'm the one that says tell your grandma, not you. Um, no, I think that's absolutely everything. But we do appreciate you hanging out. It's good to have Carter back. It was easier to talk to someone than try to fill air all by myself. So, thanks for coming back, Carter. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I was originally
I
supposed to be gone for this one too, so
I know. I had to beg and plead. Actually, I don't know if I did. I don't remember. We've talked about rescheduling. Anyway, bye, y'all.
See you next week.